What is up, my dudes, my little dudelings? How we doing today? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. Today we've got some hot news. Not a ton of stuff, but two new cards. One new monster for the Warrior Strike structure deck, and also one new at Ignister monster, a Link monster revealed for the Ignition Assault structure deck, or not structure deck, core set that we'll be getting. I believe this is going to be our late 2019, so like November core set. So let's get right into it because I think they're both really cool. So we'll start with the Warrior Strike new card. This card is called Evocator Evac. I believe that's Eveque. I don't know. That's a tough one to pronounce, but very similar design to like Evocator Chevalier, but it has the, what do you call this? It's not a mace, but it's like a ball and chain, like whip kind of thing. It's cool. It's covered in fire. Cool design. Definitely don't hate it. But I think the biggest thing here that people are going to be talking about is that we thought with the first monster being revealed, not being a Gemini monster, this was not going to be a Gemini structure deck. But in fact, it is. This is a Gemini monster right here. Maybe just to help balance out or make the deck a little bit better, they made the boss monster like kind of insane, while the rest of it is still Gemini. So let's get into his effects. He's a level 4 fire warrior Gemini effect monster. Of course, 1500 attack, 1000 defense. I would have liked it to be a little more beat stick-ish. I mean, I think that'd be a nice little bump in value for Gemini cards in general. I mean, considering if you can't get their effects, at least you can try to play some beat down style game with it. So I don't like that it's 1500, but its effect is pretty solid. While this card is a normal monster on the field, obviously it's okay. It's always treated as a normal monster while it's face up on the field or in the graveyard, but you can normal summon it once. I'm sorry, God, I'm wording this so bad. All right, start over. Oh, I just woke up, guys. Give me a minute here. While this card is treated as a normal monster while face up on the field or in the graveyard, while this card is a normal monster on the field, you can normal summon it again to have it become an effect monster with this effect. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one fire warrior or Gemini monster in your graveyard except for itself and special summon it. You can only use this effect once per turn. I believe the way this works is when you get that additional normal summon, making this an effect monster, that will count. That will still count towards being normal summoned to start and activate this effect. So that's really good. And it's just a monster reborn. It's just a free +1. I mean, I'm guessing most of, if not your entire deck, is going to be Fire Warriors, which is your new boss monster, or Gemini monsters, which is probably going to be more or less the rest of the monsters you play in the deck. So it's pretty good. I think let me see with Supervise, because I know Supervise is usually a super important card. I don't know if Supervise just gives the monster its effects or if it actually counts as normal, like giving an additional normal summon to that card. Because if it doesn't count as giving that monster a normal summon, it becomes an effect monster and gains its effects. If this face-up card, so I believe Supervise will not even give this card its effects because it's not actually getting that additional normal summon, it's just getting its effects. It's getting the effect that if it's normal or special summon, it gets its effects. So that actually kind of stinks. You have to do this like raw. I mean, obviously we'll see what the rest of the deck is. I'm assuming if we're getting a Gemini deck in 2019, there's going to be some new turbo cards. It's kind of like with like Subterrors, when like we saw that their flip monsters were like, oh god, flips are terrible right now. But they got cards like Hidden City. They got cards. Eventually, we got cards like Guru, cards that like really like make it worth it, that speed it up as well. Final Battle, all being cards that like just make it good. So it's fine, I think, but we got to see what the rest of the support is to make this card have more value. But definitely interesting to see where we're going to go from here, knowing that it is actually a Gemini structure deck. So stay tuned for that. I'm definitely going to be getting more news coming out on that. And then we have our new at Ignister monster. We have the Dark at Ignister monster. His name is Dark Templar at Ignister. So I like the way they do the names of these, like for hires. It's cool. He's a Link 3 Dark Cyberse Link Effect monster, nothing surprising there. Attack 2300. He literally looks and has the same stats as a code talker, one of the big code talkers. He literally looks like a purple decode talker with 2300 attack, just the same. Dark Cyberse, just the same. He looks cool. His link arrows are down left, down, and down right, like literally the best arrows you could ever hope for out of a Link 3 that you're going to be putting in your extra monster zone. His make materials take any 3 monsters with different names, incredibly generic. That means tokens can go into this as long as there's only one, or they're different types of tokens, I guess, which is really, really easy, really nice. It makes that generic cyber support can actually support this deck a lot. And you can only use this name's first and second effects once per turn each. First effect says, if a monster or monsters is special summoned to a zone or zones this card points to, even during the damage step, you can summon as many level 4 or lower Actignister monsters as possible from your graveyard to your zones that this card points to, but their effects are negated. That's pretty nice. I do like that because it does kind of like, even though you can make this with non-Actignister monsters, and make it with almost anything, it doesn't really make it worth unless you have Actignister monsters in graveyard. They have to be levels. There can't be other links, or you can't use the rank 4 monster we already have revealed and stuff. It has to be the regular ones. They have to have levels. I guess if we got a synchro, but we can only use a synchro if it was level 4 or lower, which I don't think it'll be. But it's still just really powerful. I like that it forces its effect makes it only worth if you're really playing Actignister monsters in your deck. It's not just generic Cyberse abusable, and it's a really nice extender. Special summon any monster, any of its zones, and just get 2 Actignister monster back from grave. Just a +2 right there. Really solid. And then number 2, when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, not too crazy, you're 2300, you can special summon 1 Cyberse monster from your graveyard. That is super generic. Obviously, it relies on battle, and you have to not only battle, but destroy something. 23 is solid, but it's not the biggest. If you were like 3000, I'd be like, all right, this is super easy to resolve. There's a lot of destruction protection these days and stuff like that. But still, just getting any Cyberse monster from graveyard, that could be a Link 4 Cyberse monster. That could be just 1 Actignister monster if that's what that's all you can do. That could be your rank 4 monster. Toss him under him. That would trigger his other effect. Keep that in mind, that this second effect triggers his first effect. You kill something, you revive something to his zone, that triggers his first effect, and then you just like kill your opponent. Imagine the OTKs you could do with this. Like literally just kill something, revive a Cyberse under him, then get 2 more Actignister monsters under him, and you're still in the battle phase. You're still just like, boom, killed something, and then blah, blah, blah. You could definitely put a lot of damage on board easily with this card. So, definitely a cool card. I don't think this is game break. I think it's like a nice utility card for them, going second to really apply pressure. And yeah, I think it's a good card. So that's the second card we have for Actignisters, paired up with our second card for the new Warrior Strike structure deck, guys. Let me know what you think about both of these. Let me know where you think, what you think about this structure deck being confirmed for Geminis. We'll see. I love Geminis. I like the idea behind them, but we've never seen them really be utilized the right way. So we'll see that. And then Actignisters. I don't think it's any secret that Actignisters is going to be a pretty solid deck, but it's a good start. I mean, we've got a Link and an XZ. So, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I'm sorry it's a little longer than it probably should have been. 2 cards, 9 minutes. Oof. But thank you so much for watching nonetheless. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so now, because, you know, it makes me feel good. Hopefully you're liking my videos, if you're even, like, thinking about it, and that helps you get to see them with easier access and all that kind of stuff, guys. So I'll catch you in the next video, keeping you updated on all news as it's coming, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much. Peace. Yeah.